I'm tired.
I'm so tired. I
So
barely slept a wink.
Gina,
That's my Beatles impression.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
we're getting into the. I'm nodding my head. That was good. That was good.
You didn't do the fingers, yeah.
I did. 5, 4, 3.
Jordan, I can see your head nodding. Yeah.
We're in Delaware. As you can tell from the opening of this, everybody, we are starting the middle of our Buddies retrospective, and of course, we have to talk Wayne's World. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
I'm excited to talk about this one. You know, you did that Delaware joke, and I have an uncle who, well, I call him uncle. It's a close family friend. I call him uncle, but he was from Delaware, and
my
man,
favorite
as kids,
joke
we would
of that because I haven't
do
watched
that
it in
joke
a long time,
always
right?
to him.
But my favorite joke is when they flush the toilet. Where's Ben and Jerry's? Is that Delaware? Sweet land.
Isn't that like New England somewhere?
Yeah. Like, I thought Ben and Jerry's was Delaware because I'd be like, that's
could
the only
quote
thing that's
that.
popular.
Yeah, a lot of that episode. I was
That and
calling
the
them
bridge,
chess
I guess, from
wasses.
the movie.
Is it? Let's take a look. No, I thought it was Vermont. Yeah, it's Vermont.
Oh, it's Vermont. Okay, Delaware, Vermont. They both get it's the same state.
Sure thing.
So Wayne's World. You know what's always fun about doing a retrospective series every year with you, man, is we get to review movies that I never would think would ever, that we would review. Like our show is predominantly like newer movies, but here we are. I mean, we talked with the Weapon so far this series. We're going to be talking about a lot of classics coming up the rest of the year, but we're talking Wayne's World. We're actually going to be reviewing Wayne's World. Never thought in a million years that we'd be doing this. And you and I are generally around the same age. And of course, the first time I've ever seen this was probably on USA or TNT, right? Was this the same for you?
Oh, no. I was like in second grade, I think, when this came out, maybe. And I had bugged my parents so bad because it was one of the first movies I remember where a few of the kids in class had seen it, and like the cool kids or whatever. And this movie had such pop culture a reference that, and like my cousins saw it, and so they were quoting. Back then when obviously when movie was a hit, everybody was quoting it.
Yeah, and Austin Powers was for me.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly, kind of in the same area, where it just was the thing everyone was talking about it, and so I begged my parents to go see this, and I think my dad was going to take me to go to the theater, but either way, when it came out on video, is when I first got to see it. I guess my parents had to go see it first to approve.
Oh, that whole thing. You didn't get the jokes though, right? I've not seen Wayne's World. Oh God, Eric, probably 10 years or more.
It's not necessarily that I didn't get the jokes. They probably, you're right, probably like for the most part, maybe some of them, but it's Mike Myers. A lot of it is just cartoony dumbness. It's just characters, right?
Well, it's just I've seen this from almost 40-year-old's eyes. Like my favorite part. We'll get into it more, but one of my favorite parts was Al Bundy there. Ed O'Neill just randomly talking to the cameras. Why is it when you kill another man in battle, some people call it heroic, but then you kill another man for pleasure, and you're a murderer? And it's just like
heat of passion. Yeah, exactly.
Heat of passion. It's just like that. Those jokes are hilarious,
yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
It's just those little ones. This is also, I mean, this movie had a lot of firsts. So I'm watching this movie to prepare for the review, and a lot of memories come back. This is my introduction not only to Mike Myers. This is where I discover who he is. This is what I'm like, find out what Saturday Night Live is, right? This is the first time I hear Queen.
Sure.
Because this movie came out, what, 92, 91, 92?
92, yeah.
I was like 5 years old. I'm a few years younger than you. So I probably didn't really see this movie till like 95, 96 on TV. I was probably like 8, 9 years old when I saw this. and this was a first. Like I get a chance to, like I smiled a lot during the Bohemian Rhapsody in the beginning because it brought back a lot of childhood memories of just what is this song?
Yeah.
What is this a real thing? Like no idea what this was, you know?
Fun fact that this was one of the first types of, I guess, movies or things where the song came out in what, like the 70s, and then this movie came out and it bumped it up again. In fact, it did it. I think it did better this time around on the charts, Bohemian Rhapsody, than it did the first time.
Kind of modern day now with Stranger Things and Master of Puppets by Metallica. That song was everywhere.
I would have said, it's a Kate Bush.
Oh, Kate Bush had been a big one, and they also did "Separate Ways" by Journey. But Metallica was everywhere.
Yeah, but the bump is you
Yeah,
get kind of like the decade or so, bump that a popular movie or TV show gives it. It gives it new life, and I think that's what it was. I still am a pretty big Saturday Night Live fan. And I think this is when I was still kind of getting into Saturday Night Live. Obviously, you get more into it when you're like junior high and high school. But a lot of the stuff I got to see on repeat because Comedy Central would play a lot of repeat stuff, and I think NBC would maybe do some stuff as well too, like some specials. But or if you stayed up late at night, which I like to sneak, I guess on Saturday night, and then I'd watch it. But man, this was huge. And
yeah, this was huge.
I listened to Fly on the Wall podcast with Dana Carvey and Dana Spade. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Dana Carvey and Mike Myers did not get along after the two movies. It was around when Mike Myers made Austin Powers that the grudge really started to happen.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So, a few things. One, this movie's based off of an SNL sketch. We all know that, right?
Right.
Based off the same name, Wayne's World, where it's Mike Myers and Dana Carvey playing Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar. Mike Myers was a new cast member at the time, and he wanted to do it solo. He had this idea to play Wayne's World on his own, but he basically, it wasn't going to work because back then new people weren't given that grace in Saturday Night Live. It was very cutthroat back then. And so the main big guys at the time were like Dana Carvey. I think Phil Hartman came on a little bit later as well too. Kind of like the solid players that you would watch and just like, oh yeah, I know who that is. And so in order to get the sketch on Saturday Night Live, he got Dana Carvey to play with him and invented the character Garth Algar to play Garth along with his Wayne. So Mike Myers kind of used Dana Carvey just to get his notoriety, right? Get his bumping going. Anyway, going back to the Austin Powers, Dr. Evil is flat out stolen from Dana Carvey's impression of Lorne Michaels.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, I've heard this many times on like interviews with Dana Carvey and different podcasts of his. And Dana's one of those guys where he's not going to publicly hold the grudge, but he didn't approve. He's obviously a classy guy, and he's not going to say his real piece. He's not going to air it out on a podcast, but you can tell that obviously there's a grudge there. At the same part, though, like he got him. He was in movies. He was in two very successful movies, Wayne's World 1 and Wayne's World 2, which at the time were the highest grossing. Or the Wayne's World 1 was the highest grossing film directed by a female at the time. Did you know that?
I did know that, and also I believe I read this is still the highest grossing Saturday Night Live movie.
Yeah.
Right. Still to this day.
Certainly isn't Ladies Man.
So interesting, right? Because here's Mike Myers going out there and doing Austin Powers and making bangers after bangers, while Dana Carvey's doing Master of Disguise. He's a member of the Turtle Club.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, who won that one, right?
Well, the difference was is that Dana Carvey was a comedian. He was doing stand up and then he got into Saturday Night Live, whereas Mike Myers, I believe, was improv, was character. He wasn't
He
doing
would, yeah.
stand up. So, and there's two different types of people that do Saturday Night Live. You either have the stand up people or you have the improv, the people who are like groundlings and the comedy troupe type of
Right.
people. Those people tend to be more successful. Uh, Not to say that, I guess you have your Adam Sandler, but I would also argue that Adam Sandler isn't funny. He would just surrounded himself with funny people.
Will Ferrell. I mean, that guy had a huge career.
He wasn't a comedian. Yeah, he was improv. Same with like Kristen Wiig and Melissa. Or no, Melissa wasn't in that, but she was in the same troupe as. Anyway,
Well,
but you know what I mean.
Well, egg on Mike Myers' face. I actually am on Dana Carvey's side on this one when it comes to the partnership because, I mean, these two are just amazing. Of course, I couldn't help to remind, some things that these guys do, Eric and I could see doing. Or maybe I'm doing to be stupid and silly, and Eric's in the background going, oh my God. Like I could see you and I really pissing somebody off by doing the whole sponsorship skit.
That's
Like
classic.
I could just see you wearing nothing but Reebok, and I'm just like, yes, it's the taste of a new generation. Like I just these two together for these two movies, or we're just reviewing the first one, but for this movie, these two together is pretty good.
Yeah, are you
This is
kidding
good.
me? This movie
Yeah,
was, to go back into it, was a pop culture phenom. I think it was huge. Swing, like it did a whole bunch of, excuse me, it did a whole lot
fish
of,
face. Yeah,
yeah, it did a whole lot for pop culture, and obviously it revitalized Rob Lowe's career. The same way
yeah.
that Harold and Kumar revitalized Neil Patrick Harris. This movie did it for Rob Lowe.
I have a question that's revolving around Wayne's World, and it's not it's just a question and an opinion, but I want to know what your head is at. This is a strange one, but Generation X is a very interesting, strange generation in American culture, in my opinion. The reason is in my opinion, is I know that generations like to repeat themselves from previous generations, but they make it their own. Like right now, the '90s are coming back, right? Everybody's kind of digging the
Oh
'90s.
yeah.
But these kids in the early '90s that are now in their '50s uh, loved '70s rock and roll, didn't they? Like when I was watching Wayne's World, I was like, wow, these guys like Queen, and then I'm looking at the flannel subs, there's Googling it, and there are so many references from Gen X to '70s. Why is that? Because these kids in the '90s, their parents were in the '70s.
It's the parents' influences because there was a lot of that in the '90s where the Brady Bunch movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Leave It to Beaver
Yes.
had a movie. A
Dennis the
lot,
Menace.
yeah, a lot of that what you saw what your parents their influences were and what they grew up and what their interests were, and then you kind of make it up, which is why a lot of people why you see teenagers wearing grunge shirts now.
Right. And
And
fanny packs are back.
yeah, exactly, because their parents probably were into that sort of stuff and in their blunder years. And that's just kind of what it is. And yeah, they're gonna like classic rock because again, they had grunge music. What are they got a you can only listen to Alice in Chains so much, man, before you're just like, oh, okay, we get it, Man in the Box, okay.
I'm just trying to say that I guess I like the style of the early '90s. Like I kind of like that grunge '70s look. I like the flannel, the long hair. I kind of dig the music a little bit. Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. Like those early guys.
Sure.
But then these guys weren't into grunge. Wayne's World did not go on that trend, which I find is very interesting for this movie. These guys didn't. Their friends looked grunge, but they were more of your '70s, maybe earlys, because they wore Motley Crue shirts.
Well, yeah. So this is like '92. So these characters are probably like early to mid 20s, and so when they were growing up, they probably were listening to hair metal bands, right?
I want to know how old they are because I did watch the sequel after this for a little bit, and at the beginning of the movie, Wayne's talking to the camera, and he said, "Today's a big day. Garth got his first pube," and I'm like, "Are these supposed to be They supposed to be 18?
They're definitely not. They're supposed to be a bit older. Again, I would say like early 20s, I think, if not mid 20s.
Okay. I just found it interesting. But yeah, we're here talking with Wayne's World again. Movie opens up with a bunch of commercials, bunch of nostalgia. You got the chia, right? And
Oh
the good
yeah.
thing is the movie's showing us our players, right? We get a commercial for Noah's Arcade. Rob Lowe is in bed with a very, very beautiful woman, and then we get the Wayne's World show. So Wayne Campbell and Garth are friends, and they live in the suburb of Chicago, Aurora, and they have a cable public no, I'm sorry, they have a public access show, which is like what, Fridays at 11:30 at night, which looks like they're 5-minute episodes.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's anything really big. And then this just follows them partying. I believe the director forgot sometimes that she was doing a fourth wall movie, because there's a lot of times when they don't talk to the camera, and there's a lot of times when the camera focuses on other characters. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's you guys were just doing the fourth wall a minute ago. But I think this movie works with the fourth wall.
Oh, I think it's huge that another reason why it was so successful is because of the fourth wall.
Yeah, I mean,
And that only they could talk to the camera.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. We're gonna go over the place. One of my favorite scenes is towards the beginning where they meet Rob Lowe for the contract signing, and Garth drops his pen.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, drops my pen," and he brings the camera down. And I'm watching. I'm thinking to myself, does nobody realize the cameraman is talking to Garth? And Rob Lowe's just ignoring it, like not caring. But the opening with Bohemian Rhapsody, that will be iconic, right? I mean, that is iconic. That's going down in history, right?
That almost ended the movie. Apparently, it was they couldn't get the rights to that song, and it was supposed to be Guns N' Roses, I think, "Welcome to the Jungle" or something like that. But Mike Myers said that song was such a big part of him and his family, because I guess it's something that they would do all the time, and he pushed for that song.
Isn't it ironic too that he's the movie producer in the Queen movie, saying that nobody's going to headbang and listen to Queen?
Yeah, you'd think. Also, I guess the reason why they don't headbang so much is because they have been doing that take over and over and over again, and their necks, I guess, were really sore, and so that's why their headbanging is a little weak.
Right. I mean, okay, so do I dare to go as far to say that the opening scene is iconic as the shower scene, or Here's Johnny, we're gonna need a bigger boat, or I'm your father? I mean, is it to that level?
Absolutely.
Is it there?
Absolutely.
I would say it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there.
I think it's it. You watched the second one, right? Is that in that scene? Is that the one where they go through the drive-through and Wayne tries to?
No, that's the first one.
Okay.
No, wait, no, yeah, it is the second one where he has the face in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he tries to screw up the order by. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I get my movies right.
So yes, but the opening's great, and I actually am kind of following this. The movie kind of brought me back to my film school days, where the script's actually pretty solid, right? I never thought the script would be solid, but it does what a screenplay is supposed to do, right? It introduces the area, the characters, and the story in the beginning, reminds you in the middle, and pays it off in the end. All these characters that they made all play a part, right? And they go back to the donut shop a handful of times.
Well, this is where the fourth wall works, is because Wayne and the main characters are giving you the lowdown of this is what's going on, type of deal. Whereas, let's say a movie like Top Gun, Maverick, it doesn't work because you have Maverick sitting in a bar talking to the bartender, and he's like, "Hey, how about you give me the lowdown on all these people?" It's like, "Oh, him, that's Jimmy Jack. He's the smartest guy in the class, and oh, that guy, that's Jimmy Johnson. He's the rebel type of thing, and her, she's the so and so. She's the daughter of the." It's just nobody interacts like that. So to have it done this way makes it very playful, because this whole movie is just an exaggerated joke.
Yes,
and
it
it
is.
knows what it is.
And speaking of exaggerated jokes, while they're at the donut shop, we're meeting Stacy, Wayne's ex-girlfriend, which I mean, it's crazy right off the bat, right? She shows up, she has his name as a necklace, and she brings him a present, and she's like, "Open it." He's like, "Dude, we broke up like 2 months ago. Get over it. Get a clue, you know."
Based
She's
off
like,
of a
"Open
real
your present."
character, by the way, a real ex-girlfriend.
Wayne's like Meg Myers' ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I guess that gun rack was a joke that it actually happened.
She bought him because I love his reaction. I would say the same thing too. What is it? It's a gun rack. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even own a gun.
Let
Like,
alone many guns that would necessitate an entire rack.
and
Yeah,
monkeys may fly out of my butt.
Laura Flynn Boyle does a good job with that. But yeah, I guess he had really had an ex that gave him a gun rack, and he put that in the movie, and obviously you could tell that, when
it was
the ex watched the movie for the first time, she was probably like, "What the hell?"
right. It was funny. It was so ridiculous. And this is where they go to Gasworks. I would say Gasworks is the greatest name for a heavy metal club, right? Love the name, love the flames. Meatloaf is there as the bouncer.
Yeah. Oh man, the way Meatloaf was just in cameo mode in the '90s was fantastic.
I wish he would have been cool and said, "Hey, party on, Wayne," and they walked away or something. He would go, "I really love me that rock and roll, Rocky Horror."
Something like that. Yeah, that was good. I like that the running joke about everything is Garth is very antisocial, and so they're always just like, "Party on, Garth," and he's just, it just freezes up and walks away. I
Yeah,
guess.
but then I love how he's trying to get through the crowd. Garth is, and he gets this big Shaq dude, right? And then he ain't scared anymore. He goes and he grabs like this Ghostbuster tool belt, and he illegally like that's a lawsuit. He shocks
Yeah,
this
how'd he
guy.
get inside with that thing? That's a
He can
weapon.
do it.
Oh well.
Meatloaf said it was okay.
Excuse me, I like to get by now.
This is where we meet. This is probably not the moment. We all know the moment. I've told the story of Titanic, but this is probably the start of it where I'm like, huh, girls seem a little different to me. Cassandra. We meet Cassandra here. Wow, she's a beautiful woman.
She's a fox.
Oh my God, Foxy.
If she was
I like
president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
great actors too. I actually really kind of dig her. I've seen her in a few other things, but she was
You've seen her in
wow.
many things, I'm sure. Tia Carrier. We do a good job, Jordan, you and I, of butchering names on this show.
I do more.
I
Let's be honest.
think I do. Yeah, I'd say I think I'm catching up to you now after saying Cillian Murphy instead of Killian Murphy.
Hey, we review an Asian movie. I'm going to be terrible. No, but she's great. And I love how the next day he's like, "Hey, dude, so easy to pick up girls for Wayne. All he has to say is, 'Can I call you?'" And she's like, "Sure." Our numbers on the flyers. Like, that's how you pick up girls. That was easy. And then the next day, he's in a mechanic shop with the guy who was always drunk and sick, spew into that guy.
Yeah, Phil.
He's fixing the tire of the car or something like that.
Yeah.
And already Wayne is listening to Cantonese and he's like fluent at it, trying to impress her. That was fun.
I'm trying to look at her filmography because she crushed it in the '90s.
Yeah, she's definitely a 90s girl. Like, she's in that category. I don't know if she's okay. So a 90s girl, like, would you say that like the early 90s was owned by Alicia Silverstone? Would you agree?
I don't know. She had a few good movies, right? What, Poison Ivy, Clueless.
Yeah, but she was also in the Aerosmith music videos too.
Oh, that's right. Her and Liv Tyler.
Right. So like I would put Cassandra from Wayne's World in that category, right? She just has like this 90s, like, I mean, same category as shoot, Peggy Bundy.
Oh yeah, Katie Siegel.
No, not Peggy. I'm sorry.
Christina Applegate.
Yeah, Christina Applegate. Like, definitely that you put them in a box, those are like the 90s girls,
Yeah, yeah, sure. But okay, so Tia Carrie, I'm sorry, I want Tia. I'm just gonna call her that. Harley Davidson, The Marlboro Man. Okay, Wayne's World. Uh, Treacherous Rising Sun. True Lies, of course.
Oh, that's right. That's where I saw her. True
Jury
Lies, yeah.
Duty.
Oh,
Okay. Ooh, The Immortals. Okay, that's a bad movie, but either way, it's a fun one. Hollow Point. Oh, High School High, one of my favorites there.
yeah. She
Call
was
the
definitely,
Conqueror. Ooh, is that Kevin Sorbo?
she's in some obscure movies.
Yeah, and then she did a lot of voice acting after that.
Right. But she was a perfect counteract to Wayne, I feel. While the shenanigans are going on, Rob Lowe, fresh off of The Outsiders, right? Just with that slick back grease hair.
Fresh off of his sex tape.
Oh, was that a thing?
Yeah, that's what ruined his career. Oh, Tia also had turned down Baywatch to play this role, apparently.
I mean, I kind of would, right? Because this is a star-making role. I mean, she was not going to compete with Pam Anderson.
No, of course not. But yeah, Rob Lowe. There's a lot of actors that had little flings and sex tapes and bad sexcapades in the '90s, right? Everyone forgets Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, I mean, he's Sideshow Bob to me. Stupid question. I don't know if you have to look it up or not, but was Rob Lowe a part of the Brat Pack?
Yes, I know that off the top of my head. Yeah.
Wasn't it Rob Lowe? It was Corey Feldman, right?
I don't think that was Rob Lowe, like Emilio Estevez, right? Molly Ringwald.
Pretty much Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire. All those actors. Judd Nelson.
Emilio Estevez. Yeah, Anthony Michael Hall, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy. Ooh, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy.
Yeah, that was the Brat Pack. Corey Feldman was later, right?
Corey was just part of the Coreys, man.
He was him and Judd Nelson were probably snorting together.
Probably.
But I did not know that Rob Lowe had a sex tape. Okay. I mean, like JVC style, like your parents in Christmas would have like a big thing on their shoulder sex tape. Like,
here, let me give this a quick Google here. 1998 sex tape scandal.
1998 or
yeah, it was 1988.
1988. Okay.
Yeah, it was just a grainy, your old classic VHS tape that was leaked to the press.
Okay, so his career was what? Rob Lowe's career was on a downside at this point when this movie came out.
I'm sure at this point it was just a lot of kind of the same. You know how it was, I guess, for these actors, where they had their hits and then they started to just really not.
Right. Okay, so this was
or
a
to be
paycheck for him,
typecasted. Here, let me look up his. Because what do you have? Like St. Elmo's Fire was the big one.
right?
Here, let me scroll down to the bottom here.
Because the whole point of bringing this up while you're looking, people that are listening,
Outsiders, of course,
is I'm wondering, since this came out in 91, 92, was this a paycheck movie for him? Right? Like, was this something that he needed because he was so tainted, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out where he was at this time.
It looks like he was doing a lot of low budget TV movies.
Oh, so he was down and out then.
So he was really just trying to get a paycheck. This movie brought him because before all that, he was either kind of just a regular good-looking guy, or he was typecasted into doing dramas. This movie opened him up to do comedies.
Is there a big one he did right after this? That was
Tommy
another
Boy.
Big... Ah, okay. So he was with the SNL cast for a while then.
Yeah, and then he did Austin. Obviously, he did Austin Powers. He played number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just started to do more comedy roles after that. Not to say that he wasn't doing action or heartthrob roles, but it opened him up. He was able to do more range because of it. And now he did the other Austin Powers movies, and you have a whole generation that probably knows him from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, okay, Parks and Rec. So for a good 10 years, Mike Myers was his meal ticket then.
for a little bit, or maybe just Lorne Michaels.
Well, Lauren Michaels didn't produce Austin Powers. So,
You're right. Well, yeah.
yeah,
So I'm sure that this helped a lot, and you
right.
probably made good friends with Mike Myers on that.
So while we're talking about Rob Lowe, the subplot is Rob Lowe works for Goliath National Bank. I mean, Goliath TV, right? He just generic TV producer. And his girlfriend or the girl of the night got him introduced to Wayne's World, and she thought it was funny, so he sees them as a cash grab and they're idiots. Which he's not wrong. I'm not going to say that he's wrong.
Find cable access TV and exploit them.
Right. And then we meet the owner of Noah's Arcade. And I love how the movie tried to show us that Rob Lowe was a good businessman by making Noah believe that he came up with the idea. Have you ever heard of an arcade popular in my area in the back in the day, not around, called Nickel World?
What'd you just say?
Nickel, like the coin?
No, of course not.
Yeah, so there was, not anymore, but there was an arcade in the 90s all the way into the 2000 teens called Nickel World.
Okay.
And it was your straight up arcade, but in the name, every arcade game cost a nickel.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's one over
Hence
here
the
called
name.
like Marvin's Mechanical Museum where they all most of them costed like a dime.
Right.
But yeah, there's not too many franchised arcades.
Right. So then
Chuck E.
here's my
Cheese, I
question.
don't know.
Again, I've already said it a few times in this episode, sorry to repeat. We are a little off in age. More as in grown-ups now, we don't really care. But as a kid, a couple years apart is a big deal, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, did you go to arcades? I never went to arcades. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I went to arcades here and there, but I had a Sega Genesis.
Oh yeah. So I did go to arcades, but I was at that age when like arcades were kind of dying out because of the home entertainment systems were really taking off and like cable
Right.
TV a little bit more, but there were still definitely arcades. We had one in the mall called Tilt, and it was two floors. So yeah,
That's
like
a great name.
Yeah, and it was awesome, man. I remember when Mortal Kombat came out, and like Mortal Kombat 2 and 3, and I just remember like as a kid seeing like the crowds around it, and man, it was a great time to be alive. Anywhere that we would go, oftentimes would have like let's say if we were going on a vacation somewhere, so like
Sure.
camping, or I don't know, just out of town to a hotel or something like that. Oftentimes there would be, or like a bowling alley.
Oh,
Sometimes
bowling alley.
my dad would take me to the bowling alley
Right.
for his bowling league and after school, and almost always these places would have a little mini arcade. Maybe
Sure.
just like 5 cabinets, and they usually were all the same kind of games. And then like 5 cabinets and maybe like 2 pinball machines. But yeah, I would play the heck out of these out of arcades. I lived at them.
Obscure question. We get back to the movie. Was there a game in your memory that you knew that you just kicked butt in, right? I mean, like when you would go to an arcade or wherever you were, you saw that arcade game, you knew you were going to kill it. I have one. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, there's a few. I guess it depends. I was good at the shooter games, so like Police Trainer was one of my top ones, or like Lethal Enforcers. The off-road, is that what it is? Where it was the 3 steering wheels, red, yellow, and blue.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And there was a gas pedal on a steering wheel, so those I was pretty good at. I was okay at the fighting games, but I'm not even kidding you, like always there was like that older kid who was just way better at the fighting games, and I usually get my butt kicked.
Right. There was only 2 that I can really think of that I loved. The first one, no matter where I went, and I played the hell out of it, was Area 51. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, I love that game. And Cruisin' USA.
Cruisin'.
Yeah. right? And I got into the Aerosmith game a little bit too.
Revolution
So
X?
yeah, that was fun
That game
because
was okay.
it had girls in bikinis. I was 10 years old.
That's all it takes.
I'm 10. So we're talking about arcades because of this movie. So how do I want to say this? Rob Lowe clearly is a snake. Wayne, do you think Wayne is either A, too stupid to realize that this guy's a snake? Or do you think Wayne is so about himself that he just doesn't care? That's a legitimate question, right? Because I'm watching this movie, I'm just like Rob Lowe just got done screaming at him, saying, dude, you're fired. And he doesn't really, he just goes back to normal, like.
Well, watching this with adult eyes, I think I got the impression because when Wayne was doing his intro in the movie, he had said that he wants to do Wayne's World full time. It's his dream. This is what he wants to do.
Right.
He's getting mildly famous off of it, like locally. He has a lot of friends with it, and he just likes doing Wayne's World. And now he gets the opportunity from this dude, from Benjamin, to do it full time, and he's got $5,000. Got $5,000. And
Yeah.
and he's getting paid for it, and he really sees the opportunity. I think he's blinded a bit just by the dream, and
Okay.
when the reality sets in a bit, he has this part where he's just like, "No, it's mine. You can't take this away." Just almost like shocked that the thing that he created. But it's a real world lesson where Rob Lowe or Benjamin is just like, too bad, buddy. You signed a contract. It's mine now.
Yeah, Rich, like egg on Wayne's face, right? Because they're at that like Coca Cabana or like Benihana restaurant with the giant margarita. And Wayne, I know you cannot take this movie at face value, right? I know you cannot take this seriously. But Wayne is reading the contract. He's literally reading the contract.
I like what you've done here.
Oh, I don't know about. Oh, I see.
I see.
Like, and they're sponsors, right? I don't think it was a bad gig. Here's the thing with this. Yeah, Benjamin was trying to steal his girl, but Cassandra really loves Wayne. So here's my question. I know, controversial, Karate Kid moment. Is Benjamin really, or until the end, I know he is, but was he really that evil? I mean, he gave Wayne everything he wanted. It's a crappy 5-minute public show. Gives him and Garth $5,000 each. They have a sponsor, a beautiful set, right? I mean,
I don't think evil is a strong word, but he is a snake in the grass.
Sure.
I think he is just as blinded as Wayne is about the goal that they have set for themselves. And Benjamin is disconnected. He's completely disconnected from this group, right?
He's an 80s man.
Yeah, so he's sleeping with that girl at the start of the movie, and she's like, "Oh man, Wayne's World, I love this show." And he's just like, What is this show? I've never heard of this show. This is a dumb show." And even though it looks like it would be in his group, he's completely detached from it, completely, right?
Right.
And the entire time as he's signing Wayne on, he's just doing it because he sees a product that he can sell to Noah Vanderhoff.
Yeah, Noah. Yeah, because that's one of their clients. And then Cassandra is the bonus, right?
Yeah,
he sees
exactly.
Cassandra, and he was like, "Oh, I'm coming after her now."
So he just he has a goal, and he's trying to do whatever he can to obtain it. And I believe that much like many executives, when they do this, they don't listen. They do it on their terms, and they say, "Okay, well, we'll just do it this way," completely forgetting that the way that Wayne was doing was working on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Benjamin is coming to doing his own thing, it's Benjamin's show now. It's not Wayne's World anymore.
Right. It's Benjamin's world at this point. This is when Benjamin tries to talk to Garth, and we get the alive hand robot scene with Garth. This cracked me up.
We fear change.
I don't. I don't know why. I was laughing so hard where he's just like talking to him and the hand starts coming alive, right? And he just starts wailing on this thing as hard as he can. And just the Rob Lowe didn't break character. He just stood and watched the disaster happening. And I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, I
Yeah.
love it. Also, this comes to the part where I have the video saved on my photos in my phone, like just the whole sponsorship stuff, because that was so 90s.
So another part about this is, and then a lot of to discredit Mike Myers on this, when Lauren or when he pitched the movie idea to Lauren, or however it was came about, he really wrote Garth off of this movie completely.
Oh, really?
Like really, he wanted it to be Wayne's World, not Wayne and Garth. He wanted it to be all him, and it was just not going to happen. Dana Carvey refused to do the movie at first. He had
Oh,
said,
really?
yeah, because he's like, you had me in here for like 3 scenes, and I'm not even talking, for these other scenes. He's like, I'm not doing this. This is Wayne and Garth here, and so they had to renegotiate and give uh, Dana Carvey a lot more. Yeah,
I'm,
exactly.
I'm glad they did because, again, I said it before in this episode, egg on Mike Myers' face. This movie is stronger with Wayne and Garth together because that's why they're in this buddy retrospective, right? These two are buddies.
Dude, apparently, uh, they Mike Myers was just a pain to work with the entire time during this movie.
Really? You wouldn't think so.
He was the reason why the director didn't want to come back for part 2.
Okay. I can believe that, right?
According to the director, here we go. According to the director, Mike Myers was a nightmare to work with. For example, one day, Mike Myers was infuriated that there was no margarine for his bagel, only butter. And
What?
Myers, who suffers from hypoglycemia, he flipped the snack table over in a rage and stormed off into his trailer. Yeah,
Mike Myers?
Mike Myers. Yeah, I guess his whole thing where he was like just a drama queen the entire time. Dana Carvey talks about it too in some of his interviews. It was just rough.
Well, also too, I'm not trying to give Mike Myers credit, I guess, because that's not the word I'm trying to say. But like, this was his first big role, right? Because what in the '80s he did I'm Married or I Fell in Love with an Axe Murderer, but that movie wasn't like a huge hit,
No, it was kind
right?
of obscure. Although I do quote that movie still to this day,
It's a
actually.
it's still, hey, I like She Devil, but doesn't mean it's good, right?
Yeah, sure, that's right.
Remember that?
With
Uh,
Roseanne
Ro-
Barr.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like it's still though. It's like this was his first big break, right? I'm sure when the script came out that they saw what it was decent for and the audience it was going after. He probably had a lot riding on this.
You'd think, yeah, but at the same part, like it just seemed like Mike Myers was given a break over and over and over and over again, and he just would bite the hand that would feed him. Here we go. The
Yes.
character of Garth was barely in the original script, and Carvey would add more to this character in the script, only to find out that Mike Myers would take his ideas out of the script and redo them. This caused Dana Carvey to quit the movie weeks before shooting.
Oh boy. So which is interesting, right? Because it definitely shows the two's professionalism. Because sometimes on movies you can see, oh, these two don't mesh. Like when these guys were playing hockey with each other in the street, car, game on. Like these dudes seem like they're buddies.
Yeah, they obviously. Well, Dana Carvey's just a good guy and a character actor, man, and I think Mike was just so happy to be in his first big debut film that it just kind of, and he's a Mike Myers. He does Mike Myers things. He's kind of like Ben Stiller, where they don't really have a whole lot of range. They just kind of play a Mike Myers character.
One's Canadian, one's Jewish. Right? That's what you got.
Yep, and they both can do that one accent really well. Mike Myers can do that one Scottish accent. That's about it.
So, Alice Cooper. So when I watch this movie, I also think of my dad. Why? Because my dad at one point, I don't know, we were at his mom's house who has passed and years ago in the 90s, and this was on TV, and the whole Alice Cooper scene happens. And my dad looks at me and he goes, in real life, Alice Cooper is a genius, right? Like his IQ's like through the roof. And I'm like, is it? Even at like a 10-year-old mind. The scene I'm talking about is that Benjamin tries to get the boys away from Cassandra, so he gives them tickets to see Alice Cooper. And, of course, Feed My Frankenstein is the only Alice Cooper song I've ever heard. I mean, that's not true. School's Out.
Yeah.
I guess that one. But then they meet Alice Cooper in the back, and I love the scene where they're like, well, the town's actually called Milwaukee.
Which is Algonquin for the good land.
I loved it. I love that whole scene. We're not worthy. It's great. It's great. Now,
I guess he's a huge history buff. I think Alice Cooper. Is he from Detroit? Yeah, because he would host a radio show around here actually, kind of a late night type thing, and yeah, he'd give you like a lot of stories, a lot of cool little trivia stuff, and yeah, he's a cool guy.
You would think history would have dubbed Alice Cooper the Motor City Madman instead of Ted Nugent, right?
Yeah. He doesn't play guitar like Ted Nugent, I guess.
I guess, but you just think, because of the persona of Alice Cooper, and the sets and the stage shows, like you would think they would classify him as the Motor City Madman. We get a brief cameo from Chris Farley here. Oh, Chris Farley.
His first film debut.
Oh, this is?
Yes.
He plays a smart, know-it-all security guard behind the Alice Cooper stage.
That security guard was very informative.
And then the camera has to pan to the license plate, Mr. Big.
Yeah.
So at this point, Benjamin's plan is full out, right? He's trying to get Cassandra away from Wade. He's signing Cassandra to a record deal, or not a record deal. He signed her to a music video. Also, I find strange, but it's the Mulligan. I don't care. He's a TV producer, not a video producer, music video producer. But it's okay, right? He's just a rich '80s man trying to get some tang.
Yep, that's basically what it is.
That's basically what it is. Did you find yourself? I have to bring it up because I was like, oh, really? Were you grossed out by Mike Myers walking around in his whitey tighties? There were some angles that I wish they would have cut.
Yeah, it was a little off-putting, but not as off-putting as seeing Wayne without his hat.
Yeah, that was weird, right? He had kind of like that Garth hair, where it was like had like kind of like a helmet
Joan Jett.
Right. He was thonging it. He was Porky Pigging it and thonging it in those whitey tighties.
Oh,
and I looked at my wife and
he is white.
Oh
boy, I thought I was white.
Oh, you know what I'm going to say? I looked at my wife and I said, 3 more years, baby, when I hit 40.
There you go. That guy he had the whitey tighties and the white socks as well too.
And the white socks. All he needed was some Hey Dudes, and that guy would have been cool.
It didn't help he was wearing a black shirt too, and it just made everything worse.
Right. Only in this movie would a woman like Cassandra find Wayne attractive. This guy is not attractive.
Again, this and every Adam Sandler movie.
Right. I'm just like, God, those two in bed together. It was cringe.
Yeah.
Right? It was cringe. So then we get Cassandra go.
It really makes it more like Laura Flynn Boyle was. Stacy was definitely more of the match for Wayne.
Yeah.
More his speed.
Yeah. So then they get so now Cassandra's off doing a music video, and her and Wayne like kind of break up in a way, kind of not, right? And then they're at the donut shop coming up with plans about how to get Cassandra back. And I love Garth. It's just like, oh, we're going to do this super duper smart stuff that I'm not going to repeat because I don't want to butcher it, by doing satellites and doing all this stuff to Mr. Big's satellite car. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is great. I love how Garth is this.
They're basically going to broadcast. They're going to have Cassandra go to Wayne's World in his house. They're gonna broadcast the show and have it and hope that Mr. Big's watching. I just hope that Mr. Big's watching in his limousine at the same time.
At the same exact moment, the smallest TV in the history of TVs. Did you ever camp as a kid?
Yep.
My grandfather had that TV, right? Like the
Oh
small
yeah.
little TV, like on like the kitchen counter in the camper.
Mr. Big had a satellite dish on his limo too.
I saw that. Had the biggest douchiest on top of his limo, this satellite dish. It was amazing. Oh my God. So Wayne goes to Cassandra's video set, and it's a Tarzan set. Oh, also, I'm sorry. One of my greatest cameos in this movie, on his way rushing to save her from the video shoot, the T-1000 shows up.
Yep.
Have you seen this boy? Like, perfect. Perfect.
That almost
I
didn't
love
make it into the movie.
Because of time, or
I think Mike Myers didn't think it was funny. And he's like, I don't know, I don't think why we have to do this, but they were
it's
they
just
were
fun.
obviously making just pop culture jokes the entire time. So it's like, well, and
It
that
was
was
fun.
a huge movie. When did that come out? The year
91.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
I
and
mean,
I don't know how Robert Patrick got in there. Maybe he was just on set, but yeah, why
I
not?
I thought it was funnier than the Laverne and Shirley bit. I mean, Mike Myers. I mean, the Laverne and Shirley bit seems like a Mike Myers bit,
Yeah, most certainly.
right? And I think T-1000 was funnier than that.
I get, yeah, it's just one of those where this is this kind of movie.
Right. So we get to the end of it where everybody that's in Wayne's group is going to help Wayne and get Cassandra a record deal. Rob Lowe gets violated by the cop, which they bring up in the beginning of the movie. Remember, I was talking about the screenplay, where they go to the beginning. They're like, "Does anybody smell bacon?" And they're like, "Hey, officer, how's your day?" And he's like, "Oh, I stopped a bus full of tourists. I had to do a full body cavity search on all of them," and they had to bring that back at the end. I thought that was funny. The movie got Gina though, because Gina's never seen this part, and when they do the non-happy ending, she looks at me and she goes, "What?" And I was like, "Just wait, there's two more endings." She goes, "There's two more endings." Like she didn't get it, and then by the time the Scooby-Doo one was happening, she got the joke. But like, actually, that was kind of fun, right? Like, you have three different endings.
Again, I really like how this movie breaks the fourth wall. They're just like, yeah, right.
And then they do the Scooby-Doo ending, and they have the old guy. I wouldn't have got away with it if it was
Where they're
released.
completely aware that this is just a dumb movie and we're here to
Okay.
have fun.
Right. And then we get the happy ending where everybody's happy and Rob Lowe learns a lesson.
I also like Kurt Fuller in this, who plays the producer.
Oh, yeah, dude. One of my favorite jokes is they're at the studio stealing all the stuff, and he comes out with a flashlight, pretending to be a gun. And Garth talks him down, grabs the flashlight, takes the batteries out like taking the bullets out of a gun. He goes,
He's
"It's
okay.
cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. We're cool."
Yeah, I liked it at the end when Terry, one of the crew members of Wayne World, when his whole thing was, "I love you, man. No,
Yeah.
I love you, man." And yeah, at the end when he says, "I love you, man," and then he comes up and goes, "And I love you, Terry, because I found out that platonic love between two grown men can exist."
And that's kind of big for 92, right? Like, that was kind of
He says platonic.
risky.
That's the big one.
I know, right? I was like, oh, that one kind of shocked me there for a minute too.
I knew Kurt Fuller from the movie Bingo.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember that one.
Mm.
It came out the year before. It was about a dog
Bingo.
named Bingo.
Yeah, I figured as such.
It's
I thought
that was another one of those movies where again it's ridiculous, and everyone knew what the movie was, and they're all having fun. Cindy
Is it
Williams
my-
was in it actually. Oh, I wonder if she played Shirley from Laverne and Shirley.
Is it my fault that when you said bingo, I was thinking the dog movie Benji?
There were a lot of dog movies. Animal movies were pretty big for family movies, right?
Homeward Bound, man.
Oh yeah, come on now.
Come on, right? Yeah, so I did because we should close it out with talking about the sequel, just a tad, and then also the legacy. But I did watch the sequel afterwards for a little bit. I skimmed it, right? I watched like the first 15, 20 minutes. I got bored and I did the scenes, right? I just fast forward to the scenes. It doesn't hit like it does the first one. It's definitely more comedic. It's definitely more slapstick, Naked Gun, if you will. It's still there. The charm is trying to be there. But Christopher Walken as the bad guy didn't sit well.
No, you had a lot more cameos in this one too. You had like Drew Barrymore, Charlton Heston was in it, right? James Hong, of course, we all know that. Rip Taylor.
Hmm.
Chris Farley comes back as a different character, or is it the same character, but now he's uh, a roadie?
Yeah, he's like a roadie for Arrow. No,
Yeah, he's a roadie for
it
Wayne
wasn't for
Stack
Arrow.
or something like
Wait a
that.
second.
Yeah.
I mean, like because of so one of my questions I was going to ask you at the beginning of the episode until you started educating me was, with part one being very cultural, you know, popular and significant. Number two is number two, but I was going to ask why did they do a third one? But obviously, this is why. Like, and why they haven't done one since, right? We're in the age right now where nostalgia is running wild, and like they would be doing this by now. Mike Myers is talking about doing an Austin Powers 4 currently. Like, do you think they'll come back?
Oh, they didn't want to do a third. I think it was just because of a lot of things. I think this was a time when didn't Mike Myers, I think, was he getting fired at this time? I think he quit SNL and Dana Carvey, and then there was like some fight between them, and then Lauren Michaels had a thing. So I think it was behind the curtain as to why this movie didn't get a third, not necessarily because of the numbers.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is because the behind the scenes nonsense. I mean that's why. It's not is because it's because of the stripe with Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. That's why there's no
Well, it
third one.
looks like I'm looking at the numbers here. It looks like the budget for this movie was greater because you had a lot more cameo, a lot more production into it. So it looks like it was 40 million, and it barely made that back.
So within 1 year, it lost its clout. Like it's that one movie that was in time that just hit.
Well, it's certainly when you compare it to the first one, which their budget was 20 million, and it got like 180 million worldwide gross. Like, yeah, listen, that's a big margin versus the other.
Can I say that for the first movie to have a budget of $20 million in 1991 is ridiculous. These guys were freaking out about getting $5,000 each,
Yeah.
which shame on me, but they're like $5,000. I'm just like, that's not even 5 months of my mortgage. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
my
times
bathtub
are
costs
times
more
are
than
definitely of changing, right?
right. Bob Dylan once said, but it's like 20 million though for the first movie. That seems really high for that day and age.
I'm gonna look up Lauren Michaels to see if this was his big produced film here.
Right though, I mean, tell me why you're looking up. Right, is 20 million a little absurd for that kind of movie?
No, well, for a comedy,
In 91, 20 million?
I would think it'd be kind of a little bit below average.
Really? See, I would think 10 million.
Well, what other successful movies? I can look it up. Look up.
I'm
Because
just shocked.
there you
You
go.
know,
Because he did okay. So Lauren Michaels was doing not necessarily SNL movies, but actors who are in SNL
sure.
movies. So he did like Three Amigos, Best of John Belushi, did some Looney Tunes stuff, Best of Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner. did some Paul Simon stuff. He did a lot of musical stuff, it looks like. And then
Okay.
Wayne's World, it looks like, was the first SNL type of one movie that he produced.
Only one.
Well, no, because he produced like Coneheads, Wayne's World 2, Tommy Boy. I guess. I'm sorry, not Tommy Boy, because that wasn't an SNL sketch. But like Stuart Saves His Family.
Thank you for saying Coneheads, by the way, because that was an SNL skit from like the 70s. That was just as popular as Wayne World, right?
Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at Coneheads.
I'm curious.
He did Kids in the Hall and their
Yeah.
movie, which was obviously Night of the Roxbury.
Ew. Yeah, we're getting some Drek at that point.
These are still quotable movies. Like I would still quote Wayne's World 2 because of their ultimate roadie, Del Preston.
Okay.
And he's like, and then I had to, what did he say? I had to get a brown bowl of M&Ms, otherwise Ozzy wouldn't go on stage that night. And so Keith Richards pops his head, says there's a sweet shop around the corner.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah, we were from the other night. Yeah, I think I had to get brown M&Ms.
So
I'm like,
yeah, kind of ridiculous stories like that.
Wayne's World is definitely deserves to be in our buddy category, right? Like it definitely needs to be into this buddy retrospectives series that we're doing this year.
I think so. Oh, Coneheads was 30 million, by the way, was the budget.
30 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was after Wayne's World, so.
Right. So I'm popcorn rating, right? I mean, did I ever think in a million years, Eric, that I'd be doing a podcast with you and then we say Wayne's World is a large bag, like this movie's amazing? Like I never thought that would happen. And I'm not gonna lie, like I went into this movie a little fold army, like a little like, okay, let's see if this is as great as 20-something-year-old Jordan thinks it was. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm old and crusty and don't think of anything. Like I don't get the jokes. But man, this movie gets better and better every time I see it for some reason. Like I just really enjoy the jokes. The sequel I do not like. I'm on record on saying that. Like I think the sequel's a small bag, but this movie I think is iconic. I think the Bohemian Rhapsody scene is, like I said in the episode, deserves to be in those great movie moments. Frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn kind of moments. You know what I mean?
We got one of the first That's What She Said jokes ever from this movie.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's a very fun movie. I'm excited for future generations to check it out. I like what they did with it. I think this was just lightning in a bottle. This is something that should not have worked, that worked. Right?
Oh yeah, I agree completely.
Like, I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not. This may be a little obscure, but from our age, like, I think another one of those ridiculous comedies would be like Anchorman or Step Brothers.
Sure.
Where it's just like Anchorman's not supposed to work. And we can see Will Ferrell's stuff after that, like Semi-Pro and Blaze of Glory. Like, those did not work. But Anchorman did.
Yeah, you're right. Lightning in a bottle.
And this movie just was a lightning in a bottle. So yeah, it's definitely a large bag for me. For those of you who are listening, if you haven't seen Wayne's World, I don't know why you haven't yet. It's fun. And it's on Paramount Plus right now. Check it out. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. So Eric, I mean, what's your popper rating here, right?
I agree completely that it's more of a large bag because it is something that was captured on screen. And I think the reason why this movie and something like Anchorman works is because it's our introduction to these people, to Mike Myers and to Dana Carvey in a big silver screen role. It's their big introduction to the world because not everyone's watching Saturday Night Live. Not everybody knows who these characters are, but they will know about it when everyone is talking around the water cooler about that movie that they saw last weekend or over the weekend. And it's when you can quote so many things, that's something's happening there.
Right.
when you have not just your friends and family and colleagues and coworkers quoting this, but when you have other movies quoting it or doing swings and paying it that respect, something's happening there.
Yeah.
I have to agree that even though as dumb and as silly as this movie is, it's it stands the test of time. It's going to be in a
Yeah.
montage of the Hollywood movies. It's just there, and I would agree too that Wayne's World 2 is a cult, an acquired taste, much like a lot of those other movies are. Like, again, like Coneheads didn't really work as much as fun as the movie was. We already know who those characters were. And that
Right.
movie did better for Chris Farley and David Spade than it did for Dan Aykroyd. And Jane Curtin, is that her name? And it was, Coneheads was already an old established
Right.
sketch by then, whereas Wayne's World was really that's the ticket on its way up.
Hmm.
It was getting hot on SNL, and Lauren knew that okay, this is the one we got to make a movie about. And when he got the script for it from Michael Myers, he's like, okay, this is the one, and it's time to catch it. He caught it at its peak, and it went to that next level. Obviously, didn't help the second one.
Yeah.
I think this is a good way to capture the '90s. I think you get
Yeah.
movies like
Early
this.
90s.
Yeah, you get movies like this or like Empire Records, kind of that can really give you that time capsule feel of like what was going on back in that time,
Right.
and that's just how it works. And I feel silly for giving it a large bet because I feel like it's a little bit of a bias, but at the same part, I think that's a big reason why comedy movies are kind of in a ditch today is because there's no breakout star. Any person who's doing a comedy now, I think you already know them from something. I think studios are
Right.
already taking them because they're from online. They're an influencer and they're trying to do a comedy movie, or they're already a stand-up comedian who already had a huge special that was doing something else. And everybody knows SNL because you have the clips that are being played over and over again on YouTube or TikTok or whatever the heck thing that media that they're watching now. And so there's not really a whole lot of movies that are able to catch this unique piece in a day and time, or in the generation that you're living in, what it's like to
Yeah.
live then. So
Yeah, because I would say like the big one for us, like if this was like the early '90s, I say the big one for us would be like Anchorman, Mean Girls, like those big comedies.
Anchorman for sure, I would say, or I'd say like American Pie, kind of was a
Yeah, yeah,
big one
American Pie
too.
would be a big one.
But like Austin Powers, keep in mind is that movie did not do well.
The first one didn't. No.
The first one did not, but that one and There's Something About Mary, they
Yeah,
crushed at the Blockbuster, at video sales, at video rentals, and that's
yeah,
how those movies did so well. Dumb and Dumber might be a good one for us as well too.
yeah. Dumb and Dumber would be a good one. Half Baked, Grandma's Boy, those big ones, right? That are now like blockbuster flops, but like huge video. You know what I mean? Rental ones.
Yeah, but exactly. Well, in
Um,
that case, like Ace Ventura would be a good one as Lightning in the Bottle too,
that was Lightning in a Bottle. Yeah,
where you have a character, Jim Carrey, who was mildly known from In Living Color and got a break doing this movie that nobody expected to do well, but it's just a movie that knew what it was. It's a dumb movie having a good time, and there you go.
have you ever seen um, Jim Carrey's Vanilla Ice impression on The Living Color?
Oh yeah,
It's canning how it looks similar. I have one more question that I wanted to ask you before we close out this show. I hope it's not a long question, but this is my question. So I grew up at the end of Saturday Night Live in the '90s, right? Like like the Will Ferrells came in, like the Chris Kattan's, like Jimmy Fallon's, those guys.
sure.
I had to watch reruns of the early '90s, right? And there's a lot of sketches that they made some movie like that girl, what's Superstar? Sniffs the armpits,
Molly
Superstar.
Shannon, yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible. Is there, and I have an answer, so I'll answer it first, but is there a skit that never made a movie or even a cameo that you wish would have? And the reason why I'm asking is because my answer is the Bears. That's
There's a lot of favorite sketches of mine that I don't know if they would ever work as a movie, right? Matt Foley would be a good one.
yeah, Band Down by the River, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the thing is that like that sketch did really well, and then they repeated it a few more times, and it didn't do as well. I'm always a big fan of Phil Hartman and anything that he does, and when he did Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer, I think that that is just mwah, like no one else could have played that better. No one
Okay.
else could have played that better. So I think that one really works. Um, as far as like other,
Because they made the stupid ones, right? They had Superstar, they did Night of the Roxbury. Those were stupid, fun little sketches that became really, really awful movies.
yeah,
And wasn't It's Pat? Wasn't that an SNL thing too?
yeah, it's Pat was a movie.
That was a terrible, terrible movie. But like I like, Ditka, like the Bears. Like that would be fun, right? Phil Hartman doing the caveman thing. I totally agree with you. I was just thinking about that after the movie. Like it just hit me, like I was like, what SNL skits did I like in the 90s that would have probably been better than some of the movies that we got?
I don't know. Maybe the Valley Girls.
Well,
If you know what I'm talking about, with like
yeah,
Adam Sandler, David Spade, and Chris Farley, where they were all dressed up as girls, and
yeah, that
kind
was
of
funny.
that was always a fun one. Um,
Chris Farley. I said, give me a sandwich or whatever.
maybe Canteen Boy. Do you know that one where Adam Sandler
Is
played Canteen Boy? He plays a Boy Scout with a water canteen.
for some reason I thought he was gay, but yes, no, I know what you're talking
Well, the
about.
one with Alec Baldwin.
Yes,
Yeah, that
uh,
was good.
I mean there's clearly
Oh,
skits if we go
Brian
back.
Fellows, Tracy Morgan.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah. So there's a few. I could go on, but
Yeah, I could too. I was just curious what you thought. I'm just thinking of skits that could have been movies, but I don't know. Like Saturday Night Live has not really made sketches out of movies really since the 90s and early 2000s.
no, it's more like just the actors doing their own thing. Andy Samberg.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig nailed it out of the park with Bridesmaids. That movie was huge.
Yeah, I like Jason Sudeikis is huge right now too. He's doing
Ted Lasso.
yeah. After that, and whatever movies he's been done, I think he's pretty good.
I,
Everyone's just doing it's TV shows now. So like Vanessa Bayer has her own TV show. Tim Robinson has his own TV show. Adie Bryant has her own TV show. That's the new thing now, where these people aren't getting famous from movies. They're getting famous from doing their own, from doing cameos or doing shows. Like Will Forte is a funny guy, but he's not doing big movies. He did MacGruber, right? But that movie
Sure.
bombed. And like, or Fred Armisen, he did Portlandia. It's a TV
Yeah.
show. Everyone's doing TV shows. What TV show? Oh, Will Forte did Last Man on Earth. Um,
Yeah, that was not good.
but that's where this thing is for SNL.
Right.
And I don't know. And the other thing too is like these characters, the cast that are staying on, they're staying on for long. They're staying on for a lot longer now.
Does it Keenan been on the longest ever?
Yeah,
Like 20 some years?
yeah. Keenan is the current champ, and I would say that make him just a lifetime member.
Right. I mean, that guy ain't going nowhere. I'm sad that my girl Kate McKinnon left. She was my favorite.
She was pretty good. I think that they got some good people on their cast now, but I think that they've also stretched it too thin. And that's the other thing, is that a lot of these, why the movies were so successful, is because the cast members could play a bit more. They could do some range and play some characters and do different type of kind of adventurous, kind of playful things. Whereas now, I think the characters are a bit pigeonholed and they're typecasted. So
Okay.
you like only the ethnic people can play the ethnic groups. You can't
Sure.
do that. Where obviously John Belushi was doing like the samurai, so you can't have that anymore. Now it has to be like a Bowen Yang doing that. It has to be PC. Where again, you had a cast when we grew up where it was like 12 people, and now it's closer to like 20.
Yeah, it was very small. Everybody played characters. It was a different time. But I definitely feel we can end it on that one. I think Wayne's World is something, if you haven't seen, to watch. I think we both love it, and yeah, it's iconic. It's definitely one of those rare lightning in a bottle movies. But Eric, thank you so much for joining me for this recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Everybody listening, check us out at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcast from. We are on that platform. But we'll talk to everybody next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night. Gina's folded laundry, and she has this white sock, like a white ankle sock,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, "Is this your sock?" And I looked at her, and it just like a lightning bolt popped in my head, and I was like, "Why?" And she goes, "You never wear white socks. You always wear black socks." And I go, "That's my special sock."
Put that down.
She goes, "Oh." And I go, no, I don't. I just wanted to see. It's my special sock.
I only have one.
Riley,
That's what happens when you lose a sock. The other sock becomes a special sock.
Yes, my special sock. And after dinner tonight, Riley wanted to watch The Simpsons, so I showed her a classic. You want to know what classic I showed her?
Yeah, which one?
Bart versus Australia.
Oh man, I love that one. Oh man, you played Knifey Spoons before.
Oh, Knifey Spoonies before. Yeah, it's all right.
Oh,
My favorite joke of that, because I haven't watched it in a long time, right? But my favorite joke is when they flush the toilet in Australia, and he starts, "Sweet land of liberty."
yeah.
It's a
You could quote that. Yeah, a lot of that episode. I was calling them chess wazzers.